today, where do you want to take your company now? You can't find any drug that's going to be more successful than one you have. Is this, you're just going to keep promoting this drug? Is that your biggest thing? Or there's no other drug I can imagine that would be anything comparable to this?
Well, we can imagine that.
Okay.
And so we're trying to. First of all, within the obesity metabolic health space, I think there's two things I'm very excited about. One is we have tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Zepbound on the market. We have 11 other pipeline projects aimed at the same problem, but in different ways. So we have a triple-acting medicine that's in phase 3 for those that have even higher body weight or more severe health problems. We have the oral project, with 9 others beyond that. We think this is going to be a very large segment with many different types of medicines for different conditions and different situations people might find themselves in. We're going to exploit that fully. The second thing is, we've talked a lot about like cardiovascular health, diabetes, these conditions that ones think about with being overweight. But these medicines, we think, and we aim to prove, can be useful for other things we don't think about connected to weight. These are often called anti-hedonics, so they are reducing that desire cycle. So next year you'll see Lilly start large studies in alcohol abuse, in nicotine use, even in drug abuse. We'll also begin studies in anti-inflammatory conditions, because you don't think of that with weight, but actually there is quite a strong signal in anti-inflammatory. And then beyond that, David, we need to make important medicines for the long haul. We're an old company. We plan to be here another 150 years plus. And I mentioned my excitement about brain health. I think that's really the next frontier to make a big difference.
So have you ever thought about eating a lot, gaining weight, and then going to one of your drugs so you can actually experience it, because you don't use it because you're so thin?
I'd like to avoid that, but it might happen, and I wouldn't hesitate to use them. Yeah.
Yesterday you announced a $15 billion stock buyback.
Yeah.
Many people criticize stock buybacks. They say you should use your money to invest in your products and so forth. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I don't understand that argument, really. A stock buyback is a way to essentially, by buying your own shares, you give the people who already own your shares the opportunity to sell at a higher price and get a return on their investment. I don't know why that's bad, but I would also point out in our current situation, we're spending almost more than anyone in the world on R&D already. We'll spend $11.5 billion this year on research and development. By the way, the country of Germany spends about $8.5 billion on all of its medical R&D. That's their NIH equivalent. So we're at the nation-state scale on R&D. We have announced investments of $23 billion in new capital in the United States for factories. We can't go faster. There's no more vendors to build plants faster than we're building right now. So returning some of the rewards that investors deserve for taking risk on the company seems like a reasonable thing to do.